So, the crypto markets have been pumping in the last 24 hours after Trump announced a complete ceasefire between Iran and Israel. Right now, we're seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum see a lot of recovery. And right now, altcoins are holding specific sequences and zones as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, this is looking quite bullish. We are seeing still a little bit of escalations from Israel and Iran pretty much going against the ceasefire. But right now, guys, investor sentiment is starting to go back up. And this is quite bullish. And everyone wants to know, are we done crashing? I want to give you guys my perspective based off of what crypto analysts and traders are currently saying, the news events that are coming out, and exactly what you need to be aware of. But if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and exactly what you need to be aware of, guys. At the start of, last week, we saw this whole Iran and Israel fiasco start, and throughout that, we have seen a lot of escalations. But yesterday, we saw pretty much Trump talk about the ceasefire between Iran and Israel, which is causing buyer sentiment back in the markets. We're seeing USDT dominance crash down a little bit, and right now, guys, everyone is calling for altcoin season, and I want to show you guys the price action we're currently seeing and what you need to be aware of. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So guys, like how I said, the crypto markets have been seeing a lot of pumping in the last 24 hours after Trump announced a complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran, which was really great to see buyer sentiment back into the markets. And you can see that Bitcoin is starting to see a little bit of recovery, getting back to that 106,000 zone we were talking about at the beginning of the week last week. And then right now, guys, we're currently just seeing it with buyer sentiment. And also we had a few key events happening this week that I talked to you guys about with Jerome Powell. He spoke as well, and there's a lot of different things coming out around inflation, the tariffs, GDP data, and more stuff. But right now we're seeing corrections around the market. Even Ethereum is trying to reclaim that 2,500 zone after falling all the way down to that 2,100 region. Altcoins are practically just following the price action around Ethereum. So Ethereum saw a little bit of green in the market, so did the altcoin market as well. Bitcoin dominance, guys, saw that crazy rally all the way up to 66%, creating a new cycle high for Bitcoin dominance. This shows us where liquidity is shifting. And right now, guys, the target that a lot of people have been talking about is that 72% zone. This is where we saw Bitcoin dominance pretty much peak out last bull run, and then from there it returned all of that liquidity into Ethereum and altcoins as well. And this is where we're keeping up with it. Are we going to be topping out at 65%, 60%, 70%? This is where you need to be keeping up with all this information, and I'm going to let you know when I think we're having that flip in deviation. And right now, though, Bitcoin dominance is still running. USDT dominance is crashing down, showing that everyone is getting back out of stable coins and reallocating to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins as well. So this is super bullish, guys, seeing how liquidity is shifting. Now, what is causing all of the green in the markets? It's President Trump announcing a complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. This is causing the price of oil and a few other different sectors to slowly drop down, which is great to see. We're also seeing the price action around gold as well, pretty much correlating with the US dollar and a few other different things, which Crypto Michanel talks about, and kind of how it has a correlation with altcoins and risk assets starting to run. But this is pretty much what's fueling the price action, guys, and exactly what is happening in the markets. It's mainly this whole fiasco with Iran and Israel, and then from there, moving back into tariffs and a few other different things that are happening. But this is where we're starting to see more not escalations, practically peace offerings from both sides, and this is looking good. But we did see Iran and Israel pretty much go against the ceasefire, and then President Trump wasn't too happy. He actually cussed on a video with C-SPAN, which was pretty hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But then that's whenever we also saw Fed Chair Jerome Powell's testimony talking about exactly the Fed and exactly what they're seeing. So Fed well positioned to wait and see on rate cuts. 2, tariffs likely to push up inflation, weigh on economy. 3, no immediate signal of interest rate cuts provided. 4, labor market conditions have remained solid. 5, inflation has eased but remains somewhat elevated. Powell is not ready to cut rates. He's not ready to cut rates, but more likely, guys, moving into July and August, this is where we're going to have more information about exactly GDP data and exactly if we're going to be seeing rate cuts from the Fed. But right now, guys, all eyes are on pretty much what is happening with, the whole ceasefire and, getting this escalations that have been happening to die down. We also saw the S&P 500 close at its highest level since February of February 21st of this year. as the markets react to the Israel and Iran ceasefire. We are now just 1% away from a new all-time high. So guys, right now that is currently what is happening and what is fueling all of the price action in the markets. Now, if we look at how the altcoin markets are currently looking with the others chart, and currently what we've been seeing with specific zones, Crypto Intelligence X showed us a chart yesterday and exactly where we're moving with the 200 estimated moving average, 200-day estimated moving average, and this kind of lets us know exactly if we're going to be seeing corrections or if we're pretty much holding strong and moving forward. He says the altcoin markets others had a clean bullish reaction off the local zone of interest. Good to see the 0.786 Fibonacci level holding so far. So right now, based off of the specific region that he had talked about earlier, which was yesterday when we talked about it, right now we are holding quite strong, and this is bullish for altcoins, but only time will tell, guys, if this is going to keep holding. Now, Crypto Mission now gives us some bullish, sentiment around altcoins. He says the final liquidation before the big risk on altcoins run happens. That's how the previous bull cycle started too. It says bullish divergence across the board on altcoins. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when everybody holding altcoins will be rewarded. And then he goes on to have a comparison practically of pretty much gold. He says, there we go, gold broke down into the range, therefore likely peaking for the coming 6 to 12 months, indicating that it's risk on time. Money is about to flow back into risk assets, guys. Everyone's not scared and just allocating into gold anymore. On top of that, the CNH and USD chart is breaking upwards, which is automatically a move that ETH and Bitcoin should go back to their specific zones, Ethereum back to 3,000. So this is looking quite bullish. We just need to keep moving with this price action, and sooner or later, guys, we're going to be seeing new all-time highs, and altcoins are going to get the liquidity that they need. Benjamin Cohen talked about how, though, right now the altcoin market is an oscillator at best against Bitcoin, pretty much based off of what we've been seeing with the price action compared to, Bitcoin, the total 3 chart against Bitcoin. You can see, guys, I've been showing you guys it, the total 3 chart, you zoom out, it's actually been seeing massive deviations. You go to Bitcoin dominance, you don't see no deviations right here, maybe a few small corrections, but this chart has just been shooting up, and we're waiting for that flip back. But Benjamin Cohen is someone that has just been preaching Bitcoin dominance, and I show it on this channel, but I know that sooner or later liquidity is going to pour back into altcoins, and I can't wait to tell you guys when I am noticing that. So keep that in mind. Now, CryptoCon gives us some bullish sentiment around altcoin season, always talking about Bitcoin, but this is a great chart. He says, alt season is a critical part of the Bitcoin cycle. Bottom line, if alt season is missing, then there has been no bull run, which means the cycle is not over and alt season is still coming. And you can see, guys, in multiple parts, you can see with Bitcoin dominance on this chart that we saw the massive deviations, and then alt season started in 2017, in 2021, and now we're waiting for it to happen in 2025. We're waiting for that crazy crash down. But in my opinion, guys, I think we're going to be ripping up a little bit more than likely to that 70% zone, possibly even higher. And then it's going to get really crazy for altcoin investors. Altcoin people that are investing in altcoins are going to make stupid money as long as you're invested in the right altcoins. But this is a great chart just showing previous cycles, guys, when Bitcoin dominance started to crash down and when the altcoin season actually started. Now, if we look at my crypto portfolio, guys, a lot of assets are down, a lot of assets are up, pretty much fluctuating in the last few days with everything that has been going on. The best thing that you could be doing right now, guys, is dollar cost averaging. Best thing you can do is pretty much look for good positions, understand the communities and what you're investing in, and from there keep learning more about what is happening with liquidity and these news events and everything. But swiping everything to the side, guys, that is currently what is taking place. We saw pretty much Trump call for the complete ceasefire with Iran and Israel that caused the markets to start to pump. We saw Jerome Powell talk about rate cuts, probably not going to be happening moving into the next few months potentially. Now we're starting to see risk assets potentially start to shoot up. We see a lot of charts correlating with how, liquidity moves with gold, with the CNH and USD chart as well. And right now, guys, everything is looking quite bullish. But I'm not going to tell you that altcoin season is just going to automatically start. We're seeing the right indicators. We're seeing the right moves. But until we hit those specific zones, and then from there really determine if we're going to break out or pretty much crash down, is going to let us know what is going to be happening. We still have some big events happening this week, which I've talked about multiple times. So I want to see that information come out and see exactly how we're closing out the week. But on this channel, guys, I keep you guys updated with all this information. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. Keep you updated with the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and exactly what you need to be aware of so that you aren't afraid and don't know what is going to happen. That is currently what is taking place, guys. Do not capitulate your bags. Dollar cost average. I can't wait to make a video talking about how altcoins have just ran parabolically and you need to be considering taking profits. But right now, we're pretty much on the verge of that and we need more information. So if you're new to my channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of my content. Let me know what you think of my perspective. Let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions. And overall, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I drop day-to-day content, so hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. Peace.